Okay, well, look, hi, everybody. I wanted to touch base. Here we are in week 2. I posted a short explanation video in the discussion, my opening discussion for discussion 1. But for discussion 2, it's a little different, so I wanted to offer up this kind of little insight. You're asked to look at, or pick one between Plato, Marx, Bacon, and Skinner, and critique their idea of utopia. And the way I want you to think about it, and maybe one way to think about it, is with Marx and Plato, they both had their take on communism or communal understanding, right? I think all of these philosophers, if you will, to a degree, thought about very much a grand idea of the common good, and as a society we could get there. It's just a matter of how we went about getting there. Okay, Plato was very much an anti-democratic guy. He saw democracy as having lots of flaws, so you want to keep that in mind. But nonetheless, he saw the notion that society needed to share everything. Everybody needed to benefit. One familial kind of understanding. And that's what all of these philosophers kind of think about. It's a notion that we're collectively, right, this collective society, all right? Where Marx's focus is more on the economic, communism. Plato was more on the social and the overall kind of moral equality that would exist in all of this. So you want to look at that idea of communism. How did Plato look at it? Maybe how did Marx look at it as a way when you choose one of them? Now with Skinner and Bacon, they were much more along the line of not so much that the government had to get involved, right? Because with Plato and Marx, the government played a big role. But Skinner and Bacon thought that people could do it on their own through the use of science and reason, right? Because, Plato writes the Republic, Marx writes Das Kapital, this governmental involvement and what happens to government over time. Skinner writes Walden 2, or it's published as Walden 2, and then Bacon writes New Atlantis, right? But with Bacon and Skinner, they're looking at social justice as kind of an experiment, right? Skinner's more scientific, empirical data, but people should go out and experiment and try. As he said, we should go back to the 19th century where people experimented with their lives and found the greater good, just to be left alone and maybe do what's best, right, as a whole. So you might want to think about how has technology and kind of evolved and changed that along those lines. And then with Bacon, it was more about the moral charitable, kind of aspiring to the greater good, the innate goodness in people, which is a wonderful thing, but do we trust and believe in that? All right, so all of them have this great idea of the common good or the greater good and how to achieve it. Plato was very much a government-oriented, here's how we have to do things, right, in order to kind of, once people kind of grasp the idea, they'll come along with it, right, have to be kind of taught, but they'll see it. That's the, eliminate envy, animosity. Marx kind of the same way, but economics, he saw that as the focus. Okay, and that is what was doing it. Where both Skinner and Bacon think it's more about reason and people getting to that point. Okay, so I just want to offer up those thoughts for the second discussion. If you have any questions, never hesitate to contact me. Bye now.